Now, in the fourth class of thermodynamics, we have to study what is entropy. So, in order to describe the condition of working substance completely, Clausius felt that some other coordinate is necessary in addition to pressure, volume, and temperature, and also internal energy. So, to describe the condition of working substance completely, these four coordinates are not sufficient. One more coordinate is required. So, that coordinate itself is an entropy. Let us see what is that entropy. See here, all along this adiabatic means a curve drawn on PV diagram where pressure, volume and temperature changes. No heat is allowed to enter the system or no heat is allowed to come out from the system. This curve drawn is known as adiabatic. So all along the adiabatic, pressure changes, volume changes and temperature changes. So consider two adiabatics L and M and three isothermals A, B, C, D and E, F. What do you mean by isothermals? Isothermals means the temperature should remain constant either by addition of the heat to the system or taking heat away from the system. That is called as isothermals. See here, A, B, C, D is a Carnot reversible cycle. So from A to B, heat energy H1 is absorbed at temperature T1. Then from C to D, heat energy H2 is rejected to the system at temperature T2. Then you know that according to that principle, heat energy absorbed is equal to heat energy rejected. That means here your H1 upon T1 should be equal to H2 divided by T2. Call this equation as 1. It is a reversible cycle. Consider another cycle DCEF. Now this was A, B, C, D. Next one is D, C, E, F. For DCEF, this is H2 upon T2 is equal to H3 upon T3. Call this equation as 2. Then from this 1 and 2, it is H1 upon T1 should be equal to H2 upon T2, that is equal to H3 upon T3, that is almost this ratio is constant. Or in other words, this H upon T is constant. H is amount of heat absorbed and T is at temperature T. Amount of heat absorbed at temperature T. Then if S1 and S2 are the entropy of L and M. That means during an adiabatic process, a quantity which remains constant is called as entropy. During adiabatic process, P, V and T changes, but one quantity remains constant. That constant quantity is called as entropy. So that constant quantity is arbitrarily represented by S1 for L and S2 for M. Then if these adiabatics are very close, then amount of heat absorbed or rejected is delta H, very small, they are very close. Then, so change in entropy S2 minus S1 is equal to integration of, so it is S1 to S2 ds. If you integrate this ds, this function, you will going to get this as S2 minus S1. And from S2 to S1, or in other words, this can be written as, so from A to B, so what is amount of heat absorbed delta H? That delta H divided by this delta H divided by T. So call this equation as 3. See here, this is general equation which is known as thermodynamic coordinates. So this thermodynamic coordinates represents only the differentiation at two stages. One is final stage and another one is initial stage. So final stage and initial stage. This ds is the perfect differential. Therefore, this delta H should be 0. What do you mean by delta H is 0? So, H is constant. Means all along the adiabatic, there is no change in the entropy. All along the adiabatic, entropy does not change. That entropy remains constant. So entropy is one thermodynamic coordinates. So when during the adiabatic process, the quantity remains constant, that constant quantity is entropy, and it is represented by H upon T. So H is the amount of heat absorbed or rejected. So from one adiabatic to another adiabatic, H is not constant. Amount of heat absorbed or rejected is not constant. But this H upon T is constant. So H upon T is constant means if amount of heat absorbed is more and temperature is also more. If temperature is less, amount of heat absorbed is also less. That means, so H upon T, the ratio is less. If it is rejected at lower temperature, H upon T, the ratio is more. if it is absorbed at higher temperature, this H upon T is a mathematical constant which remains constant. In other words, this is a thermodynamic coordinates or variable which remains constant during the adiabatic process. So next you have to study what is entropy and disorder, the relation between disorder and entropy. What is order and disorder of a system? You know that at 0 degree centigrade, there is no motion of the molecules. Molecules are not in motion and they are arranged orderly. If you go on increasing the temperature by giving heat to the system, then slowly they start moving in different directions, as we have studied in kinetic theory of the gases. Then if entropy increases means H upon T increases. So you are giving heat to the system and automatically temperature increases. Thermal agitation increases, then disorderness goes on increasing. Orderness decreases, disorderness increases. Then you know that temperature is the measurement of degree of hotness or coldness. So in the same way, if you increase the temperature, if you increase the entropy, you know that disorderness increases. If you decrease the entropy, means you are taking heat away from the system, temperature is decreasing. So disorderness goes on decreasing. Then if you compare solid, liquid and gases, so disorderness is more in the gases compared to liquid and solid. Then in other words, entropy is the measurement of disorderness of a system, correct? As you know, the temperature is the measurement of degree of hotness and coldness. Entropy is the measurement of disorderness of a system. Then Boltzmann gave the relation between entropy and disorderness. So his relation between them is S is equal to K log W. So here S is an entropy, K is the Boltzmann constant, and W is disorderness of the system. In other words, this W is the thermodynamic probability of existence of a system in the given state. Thermodynamic probability of existence of the system in the given state. So this relation was given by Boltzmann. S is equal to K log W. So remember that if entropy increases, disorderness increases. If entropy decreases, disorderness also decreases. At 0, the motion becomes 0. Then disorderness becomes 0. And entropy also becomes 0, because temperature becomes 0, entropy becomes 0. Next we have to study, so change in entropy in the reversible process. if the system is perfectly reversible, we have to study whether entropy increases, decreases, or remains constant. So consider this PV diagram. So A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A is the Carnot reversible cycle. So from A to B, then heat energy H1 is absorbed at temperature T1. So there is an increase in the entropy. So this increase in the entropy is given by, so integration from A to B, it is H1 upon T1. So or you will know this is integration from A to B ds is H1 upon T1. So B to C is an adiabatic. You know, in the adiabatic there is no change in the entropy. All along the BC, change in entropy is 0. Then from C to D is once again isothermal at temperature T2. Heat H2 is rejected to the system. It is a reversible process. Then, so this is loss in entropy. This is gain in entropy, and this loss in entropy is minus H2 upon T2. So this is gain in entropy and this is loss in entropy. Therefore, change in entropy in the reversible process is equal to H1 upon T1 minus H2 upon T2. But we know that for a Carnot cycle, if it is perfectly reversible, your H1 upon T1 should be equal to H2 upon T2. H1 upon T1 is equal to H2 upon T2. Therefore, change in entropy over complete cycle, that means over a closed curve, closed path. So this is ds is equal to 0. Why it is 0? H1 upon T1 for a reversible cycle, H1 upon T1 is equal to H2 upon T2. Therefore, the change in entropy over complete cycle is ds is equal to 0. Integral is taken over complete cycle. So, from this it is clear that in the reversible process entropy is 0, or there is no change in the entropy. Change in entropy is 0, or entropy remains constant. It will not change. So in the examination they will ask show that in the reversible process the change in entropy is 0. That's just your right. H1 upon T1, it is rejected is minus H2 upon T2. This is gain in entropy, this is loss in entropy. Since according to Carnot reversible cycle, H1 upon T1 is equal to H2 upon T2. Therefore, this is equal to 0. What about this change in entropy in the irreversible process? What are irreversible processes? So, conduction and radiation, they are irreversible process. Consider one body A at higher temperature T1 and another body B at lower temperature. Then heat lost by body A and it is given to the body B. Then gain in entropy, one has lost here, another has gained. So loss in entropy is given by, loss in entropy is H upon T1, gain in entropy is H upon T2. So whatever the heat has been lost by A is taken by B. Because of that, in both the equation H is same. Then what is change in entropy? This change in entropy is given by H upon T2 minus H upon T1. Here whether T1 is greater or T2 is greater. So T1 is greater than T2. Therefore H upon T2 is, this entropy is greater than H upon T1. So from this it is clear that, so in the irreversible process the entropy increases. Change in entropy goes on increasing as T1 and T2 changes, but in the reversible process entropy remains constant. Irreversible processes are examples of radiation, conduction, etc. They are irreversible process. That means it cannot be taken back. In those cases, change in entropy goes on increasing. Now let us study what is temperature entropy diagram. Before that, the variables are plotted by taking pressure along y-axis, corresponding volume along x-axis. This diagram is known as PV diagram or indicator diagram. It is also called as PV diagram or indicator diagram. Similarly, we can draw taking entropy along x-axis, temperature along y-axis. Such diagram is known as temperature entropy diagram. Then this idea was given by Gibb. Temperature entropy diagram idea was given by a scientist known as Gibb. So this is temperature and the other one is entropy. A, B, C, D, A is the Carnot reversible cycle. You know that from A to B, it is an isothermal, means temperature is constant, heat amount absorbed is H1 at temperature T1. Here on this AB is an isothermal, CD is also isothermal. They are parallel to S axis, means entropy axis. And AD and BC, they are adiabatics. This AD and BC are parallel to the temperature axis. Then from A to B, all along the isothermal, entropy changes. So here At A, S1 is the entropy. At B, S2 is the entropy. So gain in entropy is equal to, it is S2 minus S1 is equal to H1 upon T1. Call this equation as 1. So along BC, there is no change in the entropy. It is an adiabatic. So change in the entropy is 0. Again from C to D, so H2 is the amount of heat rejected at temperature T2. Then loss in entropy. You know that it is loss in entropy is equal to, again it is S2 minus S1 is equal to, it is H2 upon T2. This is gain in the entropy and this is loss in the entropy. Therefore, this call this equation as 2. From equation 1 and 2, your H1 is equal to T1 into S2 minus S1, and H2 is equal to T2 into S2 minus S1. Then amount of work done is H1 minus H2. Then you know that your amount of work done is equal to H1 minus H2. Then what is H1 here? This is dW. H1 is T1 into S2 minus S1 minus T2 S2 minus S1, or this is amount of work done dW is equal to S2 minus S1 is taken outside, inside the bracket T1 minus T2. Call this equation as 3. What is S2 minus S1? S2 minus S1 is nothing but AB. What is T1 minus T2? T1 minus T2 is nothing but AD. ABCD is a rectangle. Then AB into AD or AB into BC is what? Area of the rectangle. Then from this it is clear that dW is equal to area of the rectangle. Rectangle A, B, C, D, A. A, B, C, D, A. Then we have shown in the temperature entropy diagram amount of work done is equal to area of the rectangle ABCDA. Now we have to calculate what is efficiency of this Carnot reversible heat engine. You know that your efficiency eta is amount of work done divided by heat absorbed. This is the definition. What is this amount of work done? This is amount of work done is H1 minus H2. Or this is amount of work done is H1 minus H2 divided by amount of heat absorbed is H1. Then your H1 minus H2. So your H1 minus H2 is, it is S2 minus H1 into T1 minus T2. What is H1? H1 is T1 into S2 minus S1. Then this cancels. The efficiency eta of the Carnot reversible heat engine is, it is T1 minus T2 upon T1, or this is 1 minus T2 divided by T1. This is the expression for efficiency in the case of Carnot reversible heat engine. Now we have to study second law of thermodynamics in terms of entropy. Earlier, the second law of thermodynamics was presented in terms of the statement made by Kelvin Planck and Clausius. So all these statements of the second law of thermodynamics are completely equivalent, but will not give much about the direction in which the physical and chemical processes takes place. So Clausius gives the mathematical form of, most general mathematical form of second law of thermodynamics in terms of entropy. So Clausius observed that in Carnot reversible cycle, this H1 is the amount of heat absorbed at temperature T1, H2 is the amount of heat rejected at temperature T2. From this we can write this as H1 upon T1 is equal to H2 upon T2. Call this equation as 1. This concept is made to explain the entropy. Then when this entropy increases or decreases. According to Clausius, he made the second law of thermodynamics in terms of entropy. So thermodynamic state changes from one to other. That means the state of the working substance changes from one to another, all physical and chemical processes in the universe takes place in such a way that their entropy increases. So the second law of thermodynamics in terms of entropy, all physical and chemical processes in the universe takes such that their entropy increases. So to write the law in the mathematical form, let S1 is the entropy of a thermodynamical state 1 and S2 is its entropy in state 2. S1 and S2 are arbitrary, just names are given. Then the state goes from 1 to 2. This is written as S2 minus S1 integration from state 1 to state 2 dH upon T, where dH is the amount of heat absorbed or rejected at temperature T. If this S1 and S2 are very close and dH is the amount of heat absorbed or rejected, then this can be written as ds is equal to dH upon T when state 1 and 2 are very close. Then this dH is equal to P into ds. This is the second law of thermodynamics in terms of entropy. It is amount of heat absorbed or rejected is equal to temperature into change in entropy.